I wanted to do this project to raise awareness about the neglect of cemeteries and to basically show everyone about the destruction of the property that was becoming and like all the graves that were being left to ruins. And that was why I wanted to get involved.
I've always tried to keep my eyes open and be conscious of things around me. Ever since I can remember, I've always been interested in not so normal things, such as insane asylums and the people admitted to them, and the general treatment that they were giving throughout the time that they were living there.
Sarah's involvement wasn't from the beginning. She joined our group after we had already formed, but after hearing our ideas about the cemetery, she wanted to get involved and wanted to help us out, so she joined me and Emily, and we later became the group known as the Insane Asylum Group. We hit some snags along the way, one being that we wanted to clean up Kempton Cemetery, which ended up being about as small as, let's say an 8x10 room. So I called Kim, and out of desperate hope to get done with our project, she helped us come up with a new idea. And that's a picture of my phone. Kim mentioned to me about the insane asylum cemeteries all around the city of Columbus, and I thought it sounded really interesting because I'd always heard about the mistreatment of patients, but I'd never really seen how they were treated after death, and this gave me that experience. Insane asylum patients were often kept in the actual asylums themselves, such as this one that was over off of West Broad Street, where now the TICO department is, and there is still an insane asylum on that place today, but not quite as elaborate as this and not as detrimental to people's health.
In the later part of the Middle Ages, insane asylums were created to take the mentally ill people off the streets. The asylums were in reality not treatment centers. They were filthy and dark, and the inmates were treated like animals, not human beings. Some of the early forms of treatment were rotating devices, swings, and harnesses.
Today, patients still are held down in harnesses and still heavily medicated. The treatments do not include half as much of the bad things as they used to, and the overdose rate has gone down a lot. Patients today are just overall treated better in the hospitals and yet not in the cemeteries.
If you pass by these cemeteries, most people would think, oh, it's a regular cemetery, and it is, but for some reason, something about these cemeteries makes them not good enough to be kept up. The gravestones are crumbling to the ground and sinking inside the earth like quicksand. Do you think that the last remnants of these people deserve to be treated like this? Clifford Whittington Beards. He was one of 5 children, all of whom went to mental institutions. In 1900, he was confined to a private institution, and during this period of time, he experienced and witnessed serious mistreatment in the hands of the staff. In 1908, he published a book called A Mind That Found Itself.
This is Sarah's person that she researched, and since she's not here, I really can't tell you a lot about her because we really don't know a lot, and Sarah didn't share the information with us, so yeah. Melissa Fleming was a girl about 16 when she started her project. She wanted to clean up cemeteries around her county, and so now she's found over 56 hidden cemeteries that have been forgotten and abandoned, and she's helping to restore them and to get everything back in working order. One of the problems that we encountered was finding the cemeteries. We found a couple of the insane asylum cemeteries, but getting to them was an issue. Police needed to be called and verified, and our identities would have to be checked, and so it was just a hassle in general to try to get to these cemeteries and to be able to view all the graves.
We did inside and outside research. We went to normal cemeteries and the insane asylum cemeteries to compare the treatment of the cemeteries. We went to the library and did book research, and we searched on the internet for additional info about the medical procedures and treatment of the patients when the asylums were first introduced to nowadays.
The website is run by Sarah, and the general idea was just to raise the awareness about the cemeteries, and this would be a way that people could find the locations and find out the weather in these locations, and to learn just different general facts about the insane asylums themselves and the treatment. This also is available to the general public currently and shall remain that way.
We made brochures and gave them to local places around our own community and the places around the insane asylums. And in the brochures, we put up the URL of the website we made for our project, and we also posted it on our own personal pages like MySpace and Facebook.
And Blogger. Even in death, these patients were not treated fairly. These patients, they got named unknown because they don't know these people's names, and to the point where you just can't decipher who's who. So if you were trying to locate someone, it would be really hard to figure out who you were looking for and where they were. Overall, we feel really good about our project. We feel that we're really making a difference and that we are raising awareness about the current conditions of cemeteries in Columbus and in cemeteries in general. And overall, we just really think that we did make a difference.
To be aware about the treatment of the mental patients is really pretty simple. Just going on the internet and checking the news will fill you in on the current treatment of all kinds of people, not just mental patients. And if you check out our website, we will be posting articles and the latest news about the treatment of the cemeteries.
In the end, we believe that no one deserves to be treated like this. Every human being deserves respect and the kind consideration of being a human being in general, being someone who can be remembered and found even when they're dead. So, we believe that we can make a difference, and we have made a difference.